MVP the next year at the All-Star game with the media gathered on All-Star Friday. Big press conference, all the most important voters are out there, and he told them they don't know bleep about basketball, and they were the same people who had just voted him MVP.
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me? So it became clear to me as we went into that finals. Remember, they got blown out in 5 games by LeBron. It was LeBron's first ring.
Right.
Great. He was great all the way through, deserved to be the MVP of that series. But remember, they won game 1 in Oklahoma City, and it looked like a tour de force to me. Do you remember this?
Yes.
It was 105-94. So it was 11, and LeBron, D-Wade and company didn't even get to 100 points in that game. And I looked back at the box this morning, and I thought, Russell in that game took 24 shots to Kevin's 20. Russell was 10 of 24, but Kevin was 12 of 20, and the total points were 27 for Russ and 36 for Kevin, because he's about as efficient a scorer as we've ever seen in this league, okay? And then I look at, Russ that night was 0 of 4 from 3. That's no shock, right?
Right.
Kevin was 4 of 8 from 3 that night. Aha! So you can make a case that the one big game that they showed you their star power and firepower, the Baby Thunder, it was Kevin overcoming Russ to a large degree. And even though Russ in that game had 8 rebounds and 11 assists, I'll give you that. But, man, Kevin was spectacular in that game. You could see what the potential was. And then LeBron made a play. I thought he got a call at the end of game 2. Remember, on Kevin fouling him on the baseline. Then, to his credit, he went down and made a big free throw. And here they went home and just went boom, boom, boom.
But Skip, was it game 3 or game 4 in which Russ had 44 in the finals? Because remember, Russ went off when it went back to Miami. He had like 44, either game 3 or game 4.
I know, but Magic was on ESPN or ABC, I guess, at that point, at halftime, saying that Russell's first half of which game, was it the first game back in Miami? Was the worst finals game I've ever seen a point guard play. So you get the bitter and the sweet, and the bitter and the sweet. And there's no doubt Russell Westbrook was sweet much of the time. But I was told by a source very close to Kevin that in the end he concluded, as you just pointed out, I can't win a championship here with him as my primary decision maker, because Russ is going to dribble it up every time. Okay? So his other problem was with Sam Presti and management. They loved Russell Westbrook. Why did Sam Presti love Russell so much? You want to talk about a great draft pick? That was 2008. He took him 4th overall. I didn't see him coming. I don't think you saw him coming at UCLA. He kind of got lost in the shuffle at UCLA. But to Sam Presti's credit, he took him. Now, the next year, he took James 3rd overall, and I didn't really see James coming. So we wound up with 3 future MVPs on one roster, and we know that. But if you look at what happened with Russell, my God, he just came out of nowhere as the 4th overall pick, and he was such a steal for Sam Presti that Sam put him on a pedestal in Kevin's eyes above Kevin. Okay. So you don't think this steal, it just sticks in Kevin's craw right now to this day? I think the rest of his born days, it's going to stick in his craw that they favored Russ over Kevin.
Because around the league, Skip, there at no point in time did anybody think Russ was the best player in the NBA. In a lot of circles, a lot of people believe that Kevin Durant was the best player, or at no worse than second best player in the NBA. Russ, I don't believe, will ever thought of in that circle. Skip, if you remember, I think it was 2016, they asked Russ, and KD was at the podium, and they asked Russ about Steph Curry's defense. And he was about to respond, and Kevin put his hand out, like, I got this. I got this. Like, I'm the big bro. I'm going to take care. Don't even respond to that. So a guy that you protected, that you put on the front, that you're his big brother, you want what's best for him. When they ask you about your best 5 teammates, you don't only, like, put him in the top 5. You totally forget his name. You forget that you even played with the guy. Skip, you can't forget that. You can't. Skip, that's not Tabalosa. That's not one of those guys, Skip. That's an MVP. That guy's going to the Hall of Fame, and you forgot that you played with him for 8 years. You went to a finals. You went to the Western Conference Finals. You forgot all of that, and the guy had to bring it to your attention. And then you're like, oh, yeah, man, I'm tripping.
And then to Kevin's credit, then he elevated him one slot up above Clay.
Right.
Well, obviously, I think in most people's minds, he would belong above Clay.
Yes.
Okay, so on the list that he wound up with, I'm good with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't argue with it. Skip, the dude got 3 MVPs on his list.
Okay.
I mean, how you argue with it?
Okay, but Serge Ibaka is the first name that pops into your head.
That's
from
all
your
I'm saying.
Oklahoma
That's all I'm saying.
And
Skip.
remember, you played, people forget this, Kevin and Russ played 8 seasons together.
Right.
8 seasons?
8.
And I do remember one game that Serge had in that 2012 playoff run because they were playing my Spurs in the conference finals. And it was the turning point game 4 because the Spurs won the first 2 at home. Then we get to the Thunder won the first game back in Oklahoma City, so now it's still 2-1 Spurs. So now it's if you lose this game, you could be sunk. And what does Serge do in that game? He goes 11 of 11, and they were jump shots.
Yes.
For 26 points, he made 4 of 4 free throws, and it was 109-103 Thunder at home. And that was really the end of those Spurs because then they just got wiped out. And James did a lot of the damage to end that series quickly. But the point was, if you think back of Serge, he averaged 10 points and 6 rebounds that year. Is that going to be the name that pops into your psyche?
I mean, Skip, when you think about it, the teammate that Kevin Durant is most, when you talk about, is Russ. People don't really tell you, yeah, we know you played with Golden State for 3 years, but you had 8. And I know you had great success in Golden State. You won 2 titles in 3 years. You were the finals MVP. But the lion's share of your career thus far, you've been in the league 14 years. More than half of those played in OKC with Russell Westbrook. How do you totally, Skip, I'm talking about, totally forgot his name.
Okay. Do you remember what Russ posted as Kevin was winning his first finals MVP back in what year was it? 2017. First finals MVP, and Russ posts that he was watching Sister Act 2.
Yes.
Not Sister Act 1.
Yes.
2.
Right.
You don't think Kevin took note?
And Skip, this is what we do know. When we hear about people, guys leaving, and they have somewhat of a contentious relationship, they'll always put on, oh, you know, we see they right before the game, they talking, after the game, they talking, and all that, and you say, see, oh, there was never a problem. But there was. There was a problem.
You remember the first time they met after Kevin left? Do you remember how ugly it got?
Yes,
Russ wanted to fight.
Yeah, because Russ was going at it, and Katie was like, "Bro, this is a regular game."
Okay.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Skip, was it your guy, Pachulia, set the pick on Russ, and Russ said, "I'm gonna get his ass back because I don't play that. I don't play that."
Zaza, a cheap shot.
Yeah, a cheap shot. Got him. Skip, just like I said, I have no problem with the list. If he'd have just, Skip, if he'd have said, okay, Kyrie, James Harden, Steph Curry, Russ, Clay, or Draymond, okay, fine. But just the omittance of Russ leads you to pause like, damn. You got a guy that got, 3 straight triple doubles for a season. He's won an MVP. He won the MVP basically the season you left.
Okay. What did we hear and speculate about on this show repeatedly as Kevin left Golden State to go to free agency in Brooklyn? He was at odds with Steph because he'll never unseat Steph as everybody's favorite in Golden State. He is Mr. Warrior, right? The baby-faced assassin. And he was obviously at odds with Draymond over that incident on the bench in which Draymond reportedly called him the B word. He was at it with Bob Myers over, remember comment Bob Myers
said he didn't look happy.
Yeah.
And he said, he didn't look happy to me in this picture.
Okay.
But Skip, the thing, what he didn't understand is that when somebody is homegrown and they're as good as Steph, you're never going to replace that. Skip, you and I both believe that LeBron James is a better player than D-Wade. But D-Wade is Wade County. He was never going to be bigger. He was never going to be bigger. No. KD, you were never going to be bigger than Steph because he was homegrown. He's their guy. Clay, Steph, Draymond, that's them. They grew up when they were terrible.
Okay, but all these conflicts drove Kevin to win back-to-back MVPs.
Yes.
And even yesterday, he got hurt again, and I hope it's for his sake, I'm knocking on wood, that it's just a thigh bruise and he'll be back quickly.
It's frustrating for him, Skip, because it seems like when you get hurt, Skip, It just seems like every time somebody just bumps into you, I've been there. I know what he's going through. To be hurt, and you're like, yeah, I'm back now. And soon as you get back, Skip, he's only playing, what, 19 minutes here, 23 minutes there, 27 minutes. They're trying to, like, gradually build him back in.
4 minutes yesterday.
4 minutes yesterday. He's probably going to miss another, what, 3-4 games, Skip? There's only, what, 15 games left.
And what had he done up to the 4-minute mark that
He
he
was
played?
perfect.
He was 3 of 3.
He was perfect.
That's Kevin Durant.
Look, Skip, like I said, it could have been an honest mistake. But I don't know if you honest with yourself and you play 8 years with a guy, Skip, I don't know how you omit him off a list of your best teammates that you played with. First of all, I don't even know what's... I get it, Skip. Look, there are great players and there's friends. I got friends that I'm not going to put them on, even though we're good friends. I'm not putting them on the list of best players that I played with.